Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we have a lot of awkwardness going on. We have a lot of inner turmoil at this moment, and that's not in the slightest shocking. One thing I'm wondering, do we have any colonies going on? I don't think we do, actually. I think all of our colonies are done. So if that's the case, we should absolutely be coming into our institutions and dropping down to level 1 of colonial affairs. That's certainly something we should be working towards. Now, we're of course working on universal suffrage. That's going to pass very soon here, and that'll make this revolution go away as well. So that's absolutely wonderful. We're hopefully going to see our radicalism drop off pretty heavily as well. That would be ideal. I think one of our big problems right now is that we are on cultural exclusion. Getting down to multiculturalism, there's like no support for it. I think that would be a good idea, though, to work our way towards that, if we can pull that off. Now, this French war over here we're not actually involved in, so that's not a big deal. What is the Springtime of the Peoples here? Okay. Interesting. So we would get a revolutionary victory pretty soon with universal suffrage and getting rid of the insurrectionary interest groups. Yeah, that would be what that would need. So we've got an ersatz food situation going on here. I think we'll try to increase local food production by any means. That'll be fine. And of course, the Turkish uprising here is brewing up. But that's fine. We're taking the side of the revolutionaries here. But yet we're still definitely empire building. It's a weird sort of situation that we've got going on here. We're working our way through these constructions, although 95% construction efficiency in Hong Kong, that's not great. Yeah, a lot of these are really low construction efficiency. Okay, with that in mind, we should probably swap over to building some of this stuff. So that would be things like maxing out our whaling stations. There's only so many of these that we can build, right? But that will generate us some oil. That said, we can make oil rigs, which is a way better source of oil. No doubt about that. Let's actually get some of these oil rigs going. This is going to flood the market of oil, absolutely. But I think that these constructions are absolutely better than the agricultural ones at minus 95% efficiency. I think that, ooh, this is going to be 60 in both Basra and Nej. That's a lot. Okay. That's a whole lot of construction here. It's going to take a while. No doubt about that one. I'm not shocked about it, though. Hopefully the rest of these will go relatively quickly. We can probably just say this is enough, to be honest. But I'm going to max out the rest of these. There's not that many more. So we'll just do something along the lines of this for now. And we could go for some lead mines. We could go for a lot of things, really. But for now, we'll call that good. This should be more efficient. It's not great. Really, our problem is radicalism, right? We need to get that dealt with. That's for sure. Do we have conscripts up right now? We do. Okay, so that's our core problem with our finances at this moment. We need to get this Turkish uprising dealt with, and we need to do it quickly, so that we no longer have conscripts up. So the Turkish uprising is going to be dealt with very, very shortly here. It's good that it started, and we're about to get universal suffrage. In the hands of the state, huh? Let's get the devastation in the South Atlantic Islands. That'll be fine for now. We're about to pass this in just moments, so that's absolutely wonderful. There's universal suffrage. Phenomenal. Now, we could enact guaranteed liberties. Actually, 73% chance to progress. This will radicalize the petite bourgeoisie. I'm wondering... We'll need to be at peace, and we need to not have insurrectionary interest groups. Okay. For now, we'll just... I think we should pass guaranteed liberties. We're on secret police right now. This would... Yes. I really like that radicals and loyalists change. Let's get guaranteed liberties underway. This is going to cause an issue, but that's fine. 73%, it should pass relatively quickly. So we'll get that underway. How are we doing on Suez Canal anyway? Where is that? That should be over here somewhere? Did we get the Suez completed? I don't think so. Hang on, where is it? It is completed. The workforce occupancy is greater or equal to 90. So we actually need the Suez Canal to get employed. So we should subsidize it then. Okay. So we'll get that underway. We are, of course, pushing through the Turkish uprising. That's not going to take all that long to get that done. Electrical capacitor knowledge is spreading to us, but we really do need to get out of this war here. Netherlands wants a trade agreement. I decline that. Cool. We stand alone on trade. Beautiful. We're actually losing war support pretty quickly, but that's going to change as soon as we start actually ending these battles, right? The battles are the important thing here. So we need to just get through those. They're definitely taking some time to get through, though. Oil was discovered in Congo. Okay, sure. Photographs of the British Republic. Actually, 20 legitimacy is really good here. We'll take the legitimacy. And I'm wondering what our legitimacy is right now. 51? Okay, so we bump up to a contested government at least. That's better than nothing. And yeah, we've got most of the Turkish uprising occupied at this point. So that is looking absolutely phenomenal. And it's going to take a little bit of time to get all of these constructions done, unfortunately. We're not doing so great on the radicalism front. Although our radicalism did drop substantially. French Republic has claimed East Sahara. Okay. That's a bit of a concern for us, but for now, we've got internal issues on the mind. No doubt about that. What are we at for infamy? Yeah, we've got some time. That's okay. Philosophical journal expenses for 35 months. Okay, that is expensive. Cool. So this is now done. Path to liberalism has been completed. So the revolution is now victorious. We gain an additional 25 legitimacy, or 10% of pops become loyalist. That'd be 10 million loyalists. $25 legitimacy is tempting, but when is our next election? That's the question. Next election is... Our previous one was 1 February 1888. How long is it between elections? Like 5 years? I don't know. I think we're going to take the loyalists here. Okay, so you can see here our loyalists didn't actually go up all that much, but our radicals went way, way down. That is phenomenal. We're very happy about that. Freedom, equality, and brotherhood indeed. Freedom of trade. Okay, any of these are fine. Phenomenal. The thought, the word, and the ideal. Arts Academy building throughput or university building throughput? We're actually going to take the university building throughput. I see we're a bit negative in our government administrations right now. So let's just build one in home counties. Cool. One will be all we need for the time being. So that's looking good. Now... I'm wondering when... Okay, right there is where our next election is. Apparently I'm blind. So that is in a year. Okay. Hopefully in our next election... Yeah, the petite bourgeoisie are pretty angry right now. Actually, we could get up to 91 by doing this. That would not change our radicalism and loyalist numbers. Then do it. Put us up to a righteous government. I love it. That's phenomenal. We do see a secession happening here. But hopefully that'll change. With us being a righteous government, things are definitely going to improve. So, where is this? Hong Kong. Okay. Well, that's going to be mildly awkward for us to get to. I mean, we can get there. We may want to consider... Hong Kong is unincorporated? Right, because it's a treaty port. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to send people by boat to get there. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about that, I suppose. How are we doing on this whole Suez Canal employment thing? Qualifications. Okay. Fair enough. We'll just let that be for the time being. We are working on paying down some of these debts, although it's fairly slow. A lot of that's due to our expansion of construction, which seems fine. I'm not too concerned about that. We are a bit more negative in our bureaucracy than I expected to be, especially with us dropping our situation in institutions. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to actually build 41 here. This is way too much. This is way more than we should build, but we'll get that done for economy of scale purposes. And that'll be done in just 15 weeks. Not a big deal there. And we'll work on oil rigs in the background. But we do have a pretty big radicalism problem. It does look like we are dropping down in our radicalism here. Overall, I believe we are. Still saying 23.7, but I think overall our radicalism is going downward and our loyalists are going upward, which is exactly what we want. We're going to get guaranteed liberties here eventually. It's up to a 100% success chance, but Hong Kong is going to secede. So we are absolutely going to need to deal with that. Let's get, I think, Frederick Balfour here mobilized, although we're going to have to wait until we're actually part of a diplomatic play for that. 99%. Yeah, we have a bunch of gold fields being depleted. It is unfortunate. Okay, so they have seceded, and now we're going to mobilize Frederick Balfour. This might be overkill with 60 battalions, but we're certainly going to head on over there. And yeah, guaranteed liberties progresses to voting, and next tick on that, it's definitely going to pass. So that's absolutely wonderful. We are, of course, going to do a naval invasion over here, but we have to wait for that war to actually begin, which is sad. We have a bunch of these government administrations going to be finishing up in 5 weeks, so that'll bring us back positive in our bureaucracy. I think what we need more than anything, though, ultimately right now is, I guess psychoanalysis works, but more than anything, what we need right now is to bring down our radicalism amounts, and those are definitely coming down. That's phenomenal. Our standard of living is going to start going up, but what we need more than anything for that is more income so that we can start dropping our taxes. That'll be the way to go on that front. Really, the first thing that we'd probably do is drop one of these consumption taxes, right? Yeah. We'd start dropping at least one consumption tax to bring our authority up. Would be the way that that would end up going. But guaranteed liberties are going to be passing here shortly, and this is all very popular amongst the revolutionary crowd. So we should do pretty well on that front. We'll launch a naval invasion out over here as soon as we can. And we're back to working on these oil rigs. Okay, they're a little slow to build, but these are actually not bad. So that's fine. And I'm hoping... I'm seeing the radicalism ticking up a little bit here. The Communist and the Democratic Progressive parties were just formed. We have an election on the way here. It looks like the Democratic Progressive Party is definitely going to win that, but we now have guaranteed liberties and market access issues. We should definitely deal with those market access issues. We also have glass and explosives being somewhat somewhat expensive. Let's take a look at infrastructure here. We'll go through and get infrastructure dealt with. So we'll get all of this queued up. We're going to need 4 up here. We're going to need something like 5 here. Let's see here. 6 would put us at, what, 90? So we would need 7. This would need 11. This would need to be at least doubled. What's 210 divided by 15? I don't know that off the top of my head. That's kind of exciting. We're going to go for 20. That's definitely overkill. And we're going to go for 20 over here in Lebanon as well. Okay. So that's a lot of railway constructions. And some of these are negative construction efficiency, but they're not too bad. We're building almost all of those railways at once, so that's actually not bad at all. I like it. More rubber rushes happening, and we want this election to go through. The next question is, what do we go for a law change? We can't go to multiculturalism, which is sad. We could really use that at this point. We're on guaranteed liberties, of course, total separation, appointed bureaucrats. We might want to go towards elected bureaucrats, but we're really not in a position to do that right now. Commercialized agriculture is an interesting option. What would that end up getting us? Not a lot. Okay. We can't go to compulsory primary school at this point. I do want to get a law change going here. What do we have available? We could go to laissez-faire. Actually, laissez-faire is not terrible here. That gets us a lot more private construction allocation, which would mean that we start eating through our investment pool faster. It does mean that it's going to take a lot longer to construct our government construction queue. But honestly, with us getting arc welding in 3 years, I think that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that one. Okay, so this war has broken out. We absolutely want to begin our naval invasion out over here. And we're going to use Frederick Balfour. So we're going to go over there and naval invade. That should be crushed very quickly. We shouldn't have to do anything other than just that. So that's wonderful. Getting these railways done is a high priority. I want to check in here. We should probably have all of these be not enough qualifications to government run them. We should publicly trade them then and make sure that they're all subsidized. Industrial ports, apparently not all of these are unified over to production methods. Okay, yep, we're going to get all of those changed on over. Hello, pause menu. And from there, of course, we want to... Well, actually, I want to go through and check here to make sure that we are on the correct production methods. I feel like it's been a bit. Motor industries can't be brought down. Urban centers could go down to arcades, and actually we're going to do that. Anything else in here? Broadly, that looks okay. Yeah. We are running a bit of a deficit right now, but I'm not too concerned about that. Glass and explosives are expensive. Let's deal with that glass situation. Or at least work on it a little bit. So Aleppo, we can put in like 12 here. And then in Syria, we would put in 14. And then in Munster, we would end up putting in 18. In East Anglia, 19. And then in Guinea, we would end up putting in also 19. In British Mauritania, this would, of course, end up being 20. That was one too many. Back off on that. Beautiful. So next up would be... Am I blind? Yes, I am. Glassworks. Okay. So this would, of course, be an additional 20. And this one is going to be a lot. That's going to end up being 48. So that's fine. And I do want to be working on the railways first. This is, of course, going to also be 48. And then in British Central India, it will end up being 50. No, 49. One too many here. Beautiful. So this will be 49, and that's all we'll do for now. But I do want to get those railways going first. The railways are a priority here for sure. And we'll see what we need, because we're probably going to end up needing more railways after all these glassworks are built. Checking in on these construction efficiencies is not too bad. Okay. So we're going to hop all the way down over here. We're going to move up these railways like so. The railways are first. And we may as well be ticking forward at this point. This is fine. Cool. So there we go. That's a lot of glassworks queued up. No doubt about that. And we'll get these railways done first. We're going to be working exclusively on the railways for now. But we're close to starting work on those glassworks. Cool. We are slightly positive here. Momentum to the P-Light party. Okay. That's actually pretty closely split, but the Communist Party is winning. Okay, well, that's going to be exciting. Communist Party is actually kind of decent for what we want to do laws-wise, though. So that's not terrible, although they're not going to like laissez-faire. Okay, so we are launching our invasion here, and this war's over, right? It's super over. There's no way. We obviously win this, but it took a little while to get here. We're still working on paying off our debts, but it's a low amount of speed there. We'd be doing a lot better if we weren't paying for this philosophical journal. That'll time out eventually. How long before that does time out? That is, I think, one of these over here. This one, 26 months. Okay. So I guess that's fine. This naval invasion was successful, and I think at this point, this is just done, right? Yeah, this is just done. Cool. So we'll just have to wait for them to give up. Which they will eventually. That's absolutely fine, and this is stalled out. Okay. It's not ideal. We'll stay focused on it. We may abandon this after the election. If the communists win, they're probably not going to be happy about laissez-faire. But broadly, we would like some policies that the communists would be interested in. Things like potentially getting rid of cultural exclusion. Things like going down to public health care. That would be something they'd be interested in. We'd be happy about that. Potentially getting rid of child labor. That would be ideal. I don't know if they'd be super into that one. We'll have to see. We're definitely making decent sums of money at this point. It's not phenomenal, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Frederick Balfour can be demobilized, and we probably should, right? Well, for 4 months, actually, these guys are going to be done before then. They're done right now. There we go. We don't need to early demobilize because we can just demobilize that way. Wonderful. Momentum to the Democratic Progressive Party. Sure. So we'll see how this election pans out. It's kind of a close one. Trench works have been unlocked. Cool. Okay, so the Communist Party wins with 35.8% of the vote. And we're at 71. We can get to 72. Okay, so we've got trade unions, intelligentsia, and armed forces. Laissez-faire is down to 0. That's what we expected. We're going to have to abandon that, and let's pop out of here and see what we can potentially do laws-wise. We could do compulsory primary school. I love it. We get started on that one. We've been struggling to get that one passed for a while, and that'll be absolutely phenomenal. So we have a bunch of railways finishing up in Lebanon and in Basra, and we're definitely starting work on our glassworks. That's very good to see. Oil discovered in Western New Guinea. Cool. And our income is definitely coming upwards here. So we can see that we're paying 102K in subsidies. That's going to remain the case. We're paying 68.4K in interest, 76.6K in additional expenses. That's all fine. Okay, rubber rush. Yep, that's all okay. Beautiful. These railways are going to be done relatively soon, 23 weeks. We're going to have a bunch of glassworks finishing before then. So glass is currently expensive, and we have some standard of living issues, and we have some market access issues. All of that is being worked on. Our literacy is going to start skyrocketing. We've kind of plateaued here, but once we get compulsory primary school, our literacy is going to go up a lot. So that's good. We're very happy about that. We're going to have to start thinking about going to war soon-ish. We're down to 27.8 there. We'll probably look to take Persia and get all this linked up. That would be good. But for now, we'll see what ends up happening with that. We've got a lot of construction to do here. We've got 660 weeks on that. And we'll see. Netherlands wants to enter into an alliance with us. We don't need an alliance. We're fine without one. Thank you very much. So our constructions are proceeding nicely, and we're barely negative in our investment pool right now. We probably need to start thinking about expanding our construction somewhat soon. Preserve restricted child labor. Yeah, we'll pass on that one, thanks. Okay, triumph of the trade unions. We could guarantee fair wages, or we could pass laws protecting the trade unions. So this would enable wage subsidies. I think we're going to pass laws protecting trade unions. There we go. I don't want to do wage subsidies if we can help it right now. 5% enactment success chance. Either way. Do it. We're very happy about that. So we have our railways finishing up here. They're going to be done in 11 weeks at this point. We have a lot of glassworks on the way. So that's all looking phenomenal. And we're paying off our debts much more quickly now. There's still over 100K here of headroom as well. So I'm very pleased about that. We're positive in our authority, although only just. So we do need to start thinking about cutting taxes eventually. The question is when. We're still about 50 million pounds in debt, and that's not amazing. I want to get these railways done, and then the question is, how are we actually doing on market access at that point? We are working on a lot of this, but the glassworks are almost certainly going to require more infrastructure. We'll see how that ends up going. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to see about getting all of these glassworks done and hopefully getting compulsory primary school passed. That will be amazing. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.